All right, we're back. It's the SilmFilm Script Discussion Season 2, Episode 6, Part 4. If you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit the like and or share button if you like and or want to share this. we got a lot to do left. So, anyway, make us famous. So, I gotta get Karita back in. There she is. You could actually, by the way, for future reference, you could do your sound on your laptop and your video on your phone and just have it come in two separate things. I think. Actually, you know what? Forestall that. I don't think that'll work. Anyway. So, all right. So we still got to get through Act 1. What do you think? Where do you think Act 1 ends? Because I feel like the birth is going to be the end of Act 2.
Right. Would it end with surprise, I'm pregnant? I mean, is that no? Okay.
I think we've had some happy surprise, I'm pregnant announcements, and then the end of Act 1 would be when she starts having some problems with the pregnancy, like we're going to have her faint or something. Then the whole pouring too much spirit into baby needs to happen at some point, and I don't know how you do that other than pregnant woman being bedridden. I mean, I don't really know what we're doing with this, but
yeah, I mean, how that's a good question to raise. How are we going to show? Are these visions going to be like? Is she going to freeze in the middle of doing something and stare off into space? Meanwhile, we see into her head things are happening, or
no? Like, the visions themselves, like the bad premonitions, that I feel like should be in during the birth. Where
but there should be happy premonitions earlier.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The happy premonitions. How are we going to show that?
Is she going to be in her house? I don't know, washing clothes and see a little kid run across the room, and we realize it's a vision of her son.
Oh my gosh, that's so creepy.
I'm sorry. That was supposed to be a happy vision.
Yeah,
wait. I have an idea. Because we can kill two birds with one stone with this. What if
you're killing 7 birds?
I know. I'm good at this. What if that's happening, and at the end of the vision, she wakes up because she's fainted?
Oh, that'd be neat. Kind of a dark twist, though. Like premonitions are bad. Do we want that?
Like if the content of the vision is very, very positive, and then she wakes up from being passed out, I think that's not enough badness to color the whole premonition, but enough to signal that something is not quite.
And she should wake up. She should wake up in the first like she should wake up, and Finway's like trying to wake her up, and the first words out of her mouth are like super positive.
Mm-hmm. Like, I saw our son, or
yes, like I saw her son. He's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like she's got a big smile on her face. Have fire in it somewhere.
Maybe not the first
to Sauron.
I mean, the very first time should have not the hints that we get later. So the very first one could just be, I saw our son.
Yes.
And she's so happy that she saw him, and he was this happy kid, and like maybe there wasn't anything, and then as it goes on, he's going to be the greatest elf ever, and you know, all this stuff starts building, and that's where you start slipping things in that are a little bit more fire and
I mean,
well, I think
fireplace in the background. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Like I think we should not telegraph the fact that Feanor is going to be a huge problem at this stage. We should have hints that when people go back and rewatch it, they're like, oh man, they totally dropped, big hints that he was going to be. But it shouldn't be immediately obvious to the viewer.
But she knows. She knows, so you can't really hide too much about it. She knows he's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
After he's born, after the birth itself, yes.
Yeah. At this point, though, she's ignorant. So we're still in Act 1. She's just like so thrilled that
Yeah, she should. Like, we don't have to be heavy-handed from the get-go.
If she has fainted or something, and Finway has come over to her, he's going to be concerned. Like, oh my gosh, are you okay?
Right.
And she's like, oh no, I'm fine. And I saw our son, and everything's wonderful. So like, she's reassuring him because he's concerned about her physical condition.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was going to say fainting during pregnancy would be scary.
I would be terrified.
Yeah.
Well,
I would be terrified.
It could just be a blood sugar thing being off. I mean, it could be a minor cause.
Yeah, but especially for.
But I could see how it's scary to see someone fall down like
that. Yeah.
And they're in Valinor. What's the worst thing that could possibly happen?
Yeah. I have a concern about how we're going to show her pouring her spirit into her unborn child. Like, what does that even look like? Does she have a tape of positive affirmations that she puts headphones on her belly, and I don't know what that looks like.
Okay.
So
I agree with Alex. It's going to be her physical condition during pregnancy. So he refers to dangerous weight loss. Like, usually, obviously, you put on weight during pregnancy, and if a woman is losing weight, the doctors are usually concerned, unless they've told her to lose weight because she's got complications with the pregnancy, like a gestational diabetes or something. But in most cases, if you're losing weight during pregnancy, that's very concerning.
Yep.
Like Bella in Twilight.
Oh, I didn't see that. Darn it. Okay, we need to not do anything that is like Bella in Twilight.
No, don't do that. Just because they did it poorly doesn't mean we can't do it well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but we should be careful.
It is very much like the baby inside her is causing her to waste away.
Yeah,
it makes it look like
she's got a vampire baby who's going to kill her.
Well, what we could do is we could show that we could show somebody look in on her, and somebody explain to Finway why she's having so much trouble. All right, that she's doing it. Okay, she's not gonna. We can't show it on screen. Somebody has to say it to somebody.
The suggestion was to have Lorien be not necessarily an attending physician, but someone who
said that. Professor Olsen specifically said he's the attending physician, but that's during the birth.
Yes, and he also might have mentioned it as like when she fades and dies, which is why attending physician's the totally wrong concept here. But it was when Finway would ask him what happened, and he would explain, well, she put too much of herself into the child. So the question is, while she's pregnant, who is she going to for assistance with the pregnancy? Who's watching her? Yeah, there is no doctor.
Yeah.
Do we have healers among the elves at this point? We're going to later.
Yeah.
Who's the healer among the Noldor? Is that person helping Míriel?
Well, if it is somebody among the Noldor, they're not named. Because we don't have any named elves yet.
Why is she putting so much of herself into the child?
And why isn't Este helping? Este is a good candidate, actually.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe it isn't what we would conceive of as like a healthcare setup, because why would there need to be a lot? There's not a bunch of people dying in childbirth, so the idea that you would need
assistance in childbirth is normal, though. I mean, assistance, you want someone there.
Yeah, but the idea that there would be a precedent of, we need to monitor this really carefully. I don't know. I mean, maybe.
I agree with you that it seems like this would be a weird, unusual thing. I just would think everything is totally normal and healthy, you would still want someone there during birth to make sure all goes well.
But I think maybe it should be kind of obvious to everybody that there's something weird about this particular birth. And which leads us to the thematic question, why why is she doing this? Like, nobody else has done this in all of Elven history, right?
Yeah.
We need to have a good thematic reason why. Like, there needs to be an impetus on her part for why this is, not just, oh, I'm going to have a baby. I might as well make it the best baby ever, right? Like,
Finway is excited to have children.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it needs to be...
She wants to give him the best child ever because she loves Finway.
Right. That seems like it would just end up with a regular baby. Like, there needs to be some... Right? Like,
that's how
no parent goes like, oh, I'm just gonna half-ass this kid. Like, I'm not really gonna, you know what I mean? Like, every couple is gonna be like, oh, we want the best baby we can possibly have. So, I mean, this kind of needs to be like a character point for her.
Maybe is Míriel an overachiever? Like, if she does something, she has to do it. Like, I don't know.
It's kind of a Noldor thing. And Alex is concerned that we might rob her of agency if I guess if she's just doing it for Finway. I'm not sure if that was in reference to.
Yeah. I think.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what her motivation was.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we kind of already established that they were gonna have kids and then didn't, right? Like, they were our sort of model for like, oh, let's wait because it's a time of war, right?
Yeah. They were waiting to marry, but now they're in a time of peace.
Exactly. But how many thousands of years has it been? Like, or hundreds, whatever. Like, I think she's just really, really damn impatient. Like, she had to postpone her wedding. She's had to postpone starting a family because they only get married to start families because that's how they work, right?
That's why you get married.
So, yeah, I think
problem.
I think up to this point, like, this doesn't even really necessarily have to be the first vision in the series that she has about her kid. If we're really pushing hard the idea that she's unhappy and frustrated that all of this crap is going on that has prevented her from starting her family when she was like, I mean, that even could be of Feanor's sort of resentment of the Valar, where it goes all the way back to when Finway left to go to Valinor after the War of Wrath was over. And she had to postpone starting her family. It doesn't have to be like she's really angry, but that we've been setting up the fact that she's getting in the way.
I think we can do that in this episode.
She has the chance to have her first kid. It's like, okay, I'm going to make this the best damn kid possible because I've been waiting for this forever.
Yeah.
I wonder
go ahead.
I wonder too if maybe the fact that she is having premonitions cause her to want to pour more of herself into this child than she would otherwise. But the fact that she's pouring more of herself into this child than she would otherwise is what makes him so great. It's a circular thing. Like it's feeding into itself.
I think that begs the question though, like that begs the question of whose fault is it? Like
I don't think it's a question of fault. Here's the thing. Everything that's happening here goes into the music. Everything that happens here is in the music. All right, birth of Feanor, Feanor's fall, that's all there. Mm-hmm. And nothing anybody does is putting one over on Iluvatar. You know?
Right.
So, yes, in a sense, it's and this is, people get very concerned when I say things like this because it seems like I'm talking about everything was predestined. But yes, everything was predestined. Everything is not that it was determined. Iluvatar didn't determine these events. Exactly what was going to happen, and so things had to be put into place so that
he lives in the time
out.
Yeah, I think you're coming at it from the wrong angle. But here's what I'm trying to say.
I'm not.
Professor Olsen pointed out that, you know, if we have Finway and what's her name? Mandos's wife.
Míriel?
No, Mandos's
wife.
Virae. Yeah.
Right. Oh man, what a blank. If we have Virae coming to him and like, here's this tapestry that shows your son, right? Like that
That's changed now.
I know, but the reason why it was changed was because it makes Virae look kind of bad.
Yeah.
In spite of the fact that it's, you know, what's his name's Finway's interpretation that is just completely screwed up and wrong. It kind of why are you giving him that foreknowledge, right? That's why we ended up having him just see it because it was out. And this is kind of a similar thing. If she's getting visions of the future, there's sort of an implication that someone is sending, or like there's some mystical thing being sent. And I think it's very difficult for us to spin her excitement as as her interpreting the visions incorrectly. Right?
I get
what she would kind of need to do. Yeah.
In order to feel excited. But we're not showing her things that are bad. Like we're showing her.
But it's still that vision of the future, right? Like you shouldn't be getting a vision of the future unless we would have to spin it as her misinterpreting the visions. If we're gonna lean heavy on, like if she's just getting them and is just happy about it, like do you see what I mean? If she gets the visions and we make that a circular thing that make her put more of her kid into it, then the visions are clearly a part of a bad motivation for doing something wrong. Does that make sense? Because part of the reason he is such a big deal is because he was as high as he was, right? Like that's how it works in Tolkien. If you're way up here, you dang well better be, extremely ethical.
You have far to fall. Yeah. The one thing we can do is if there's concerns about her pregnancy and like physical wasting or whatever the symptom is that we're going to show, frequent fainting spells, I mean, whatever it is, bring in Este or Lorien or someone who says, what are you doing? It seems like the baby's perfectly healthy, but you're not doing so great.
Right.
What's going on here? And then Pants to explain or say what she's doing. Like, well, I'm just helping my baby grow like you're supposed to.
I think Vanna should be the one.
Vanna?
Say again?
Yeah.
What?
Or maybe not Vanna, but somebody. I don't know. A male god should not be telling a female.
Well, Este would be.
That's what I said. Este or Lorien, either one.
Este would be the logical one.
Honestly, I mean, my mom's OBGYN was a male for pregnancies, and she really respected him a lot and did fine with that.
I know. It's very mythological, and so I feel like it should be two women talking about it. I don't know.
Okay, I mean,
I get that.
Midwives tend to be women. It's just that I would assume that if we're pulling in one of the Valar, we got past we got midwives or who was concerned. Midwives are who noticed this isn't normal. This isn't right.
This is getting kicked up the chain a bit.
Yeah, so that's when you bring in Este or Lorien or whoever who would then.
Alex says that it could be willful blindness to the bad parts of her visions. Like if she's already starting to get like a little bit of hints that everything's not going to be perfect.
Yes, I think that's fair that there should be a little bit of misinterpretation going on or willfully ignoring parts of it that could have questionable interpretation.
Right.
But for the most part, I think the content should be fairly positive.
Yeah.
The idea is that mothers are supposed to just kind of have a connection to their child before the child's born. And we're kicking that up a little bit and making it premonitions.
Yes.
But this isn't necessarily all that different from any other expectant mother talking about her child.
Right.
Mm.
I think major like mistake that Míriel makes is wanting to like Finway's angle is he wants to have a big old family and have lots and lots of kids, but she's like, this is my first one and I want it to be as awesome as it can be because she's frustrated. Like I said, she's unhappy with how long she's been made to wait. This, and so she kind of wants to get it out in one shot, and that is yeah.
We could show that at the beginning of the episode when she's announcing the pregnancy to people. You said you didn't want dialogue with Finway, but we were going to show her talk to Indus then, and you could be telling Indus like, yes, I mean Finway and I have wanted to have a family for so long, and now we finally are, and we're so excited and happy about this, and surely you want to stay.
I mean, it would
here in Syrian a little longer until the baby is here, and you know.
All right.
It would need to be kind of dropped along the course of the season, like when we're seeing Indus for the first times, or not Indus, when we're seeing Míriel for the first couple times. You know, when they leave, like that should be part of the parting. Like, I need to go do this thing when he's leaving back in like episode 2. And like it should kind of be on the table already, you know what I mean?
But there she's supposed to be upset with him leaving.
Well, that could be another reason why she's upset that he's leaving.
Him leaving is because I thought we were gonna get married. I thought we were gonna have a kid, and he's like, "Well, I gotta go do this thing because it's super important to the future of the species."
Yeah.
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 And if she has mentioned a child already, then when he sees the tapestry with a child on it, it kind of makes that connection.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's take a quick break. This has been the SilmFilm Script Discussion Season 2, Episode 6. If you're watching this live, feel free to comment in the chat. If you are watching this later, hello, future people, feel free to like and share the videos if you like and want to share them. And if you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe so you can see more of this awesome stuff. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute.